Hi class, this is the video solution to problem number 5 in our Newton's second law worksheet. Here we have a situation where our fisherman's yanking a fish from the water with an acceleration of 4.5 meters per second squared using a very light fishing line rated for 100 newtons. Fortunately, the fisherman loses that fish when the line snaps. That's for the minimum mass of the fish. So just like in the previous problem, or in all these problems, I want you to start with your free body diagram. Put in your box to represent your object. What do we know? We know we've got gravity. We know we've got a tension from our fishing line. So I just called that force due to the fishing line. So again, we're going to use our free body diagram. So we're going to add up our forces and we want to get our net force. So when we do that, what are we going to see here? Our F force net. We have a positive force from our fish line pointing up. We have a force from our gravity pointing down, so we can make that negative. It's in the negative direction. So that tells us that our net force due to our net force on our system is 100 newtons from our fishing line minus the mass of our fish times gravity, or in other words, 100 newtons minus the mass of the fish times 10 meters per second squared. Right? So now we know what our net force is. Now it's time to use Newton's second law, F net equals mass times acceleration. And our problem gave us our acceleration up here at 4.5. So let's use Newton's second law. And it tells us F net is equal to ma. We're going to rearrange that. We're going to solve it for mass. And that tells us our mass of our fish is equal to the F net divided by A. All right, so now we got to plug in things. We get to plug in what we got up here for our F net. And mass of our fish is equal to 100 newtons minus m fish times 10 meters per second squared. So there's our F net. We're going to divide that by our A that our problem gave us, 4.5 meters per second squared. Now, all this now we have to do, we just have one equation here. We have our one unknown, our mass of a fish. I'm going to rearrange that equation. And what is it going to come up with? We're going to have our mass of our fish is equal to 100 newtons divided by 14.5 meters per second. Or our fish is going to weigh, the minimum mass of our fish is going to be 6.9 kilograms. Okay, so the tricky here was we just had to rearrange things a little bit harder from our math, but still something we should be able to do. We have one equation here, just one variable. Just solve that equation for that one variable, and we'll come up with our answer.